A key speaker at the Asian Financial Forum 2014 here in Hong Kong is Dr. Paul Achleitner. He's the non-executive director of Deutsche Bank, and he joins us from Frankfurt. Thanks very much indeed. I wonder if I could start by asking you what your outlook over the next 12 months is for the banking industry, and also, of course, Deutsche Bank itself. And furthermore, whether you think there may be some constraints because of the Basel III regulations.
Well, if we take a little bit of a broader perspective, it is very clear that regulation will be the dominant factor and, frankly, competitive factor in the banking industry. Not just for the next 12 months, but actually going forward for a much longer direction. And that's justified because similar to the Industrial Revolution of the 19th century, the 20th century financial revolution requires cleanup and adjustments. So this regulation will be very important and dominant. The key will be to make sure that we actually have not only a stringent regulation, but also a consistent regulation across jurisdictions. And that, of course, is the goal of Basel III. So therefore, we at Deutsche Bank are very supportive of the Basel III efforts.
I wonder whether you would forecast whether the world economies will continue to deleverage in the near future, and what effect will that have on bank lending strategies?
Yes, I think we are only at the beginning of the deleveraging process, but we all, of course, agree that leverage per se is not a bad thing. It's just excessive leverage that is a problem, i.e. we need to pay attention to the question, is a debtor capable of supporting the amount of debt that they have taken on? Hopefully, banks will apply this kind of a prudent banking rule going forward, maybe more than they have in the past. In that context, it is clear if there is a growing economy and a growing company, they will be able to sustain a higher level of debt than a company or an economy that is more stagnant.
Dr. Achleitner, I wonder what your view really is about the Asian economy, if we could separate that from the rest of the world.
Well, first of all, I don't know if there's such a thing as the Asian economy, but obviously, as far as the development in Asia are concerned, we continue to be very positive. The fundamentals are very positive. Doesn't mean that there are not short-term challenges. There are many of those. But the fundamental growth factors remain in place. And that is something very, very important in a world that is delevering, in a world that has different dynamics. And in that kind of a world, Asia has a very, very important role to play.
The Chinese economy is said to be doing better than expected. But do you see the Chinese economy rebalancing satisfactorily?
Well, who am I to voice an opinion on this? There are so many more China experts present and in the audience. But relying on our experts here at Deutsche Bank, we are very encouraged by the stabilization and balancing that is taking place in the Chinese economy. And we do believe that the political and economic agenda that has recently been agreed by the leadership is pointing absolutely in the right direction. It will now be the challenge for everybody to actually get it executed, but we are very encouraged by this development.
Now, looking at Hong Kong, how would you rate Hong Kong as a capital-raising market internationally?
The short answer is first rate. I would argue that as London and New York, Hong Kong actually has a strong tradition as a financial center. And experience shows that tradition and building up such a status over decades is a very important success factor. And here, Hong Kong certainly has an advantage vis-a-vis other competing financial sectors also in Asia.
Now, in attending the Asian Financial Forum 2014, what are your expectations for the central issues that you see arising?
My personal reason for attending is to learn. Asia is such an important part of the world and the future development of the world that anyone who is seated in Europe and needs to develop a view on where we're going in this world, as I do, I think is well advised to come and learn from many important opinion leaders of what their view is of where things are going. And therefore, I'm looking forward to very interesting discussions on the development, on the economic, financial, as well as the political level, be it in Asia, be it in the rest of the world.
Dr. Achleitner, thanks very much indeed for joining us from Frankfurt.